we have to cultivate a mental process to develop special concentrated mind. Shloka 73rd says, constant practice is the only means of this. With full concentration, one needs to be mindful. Only then will it come to meditation. Since the mind has a limited capacity to concentrate, one should take only limited number of things. Pramana and Yukti are two other supportive activities. Vedanta Pramana is first, and based on that, we apply logic to that to clear the mind. Strong willpower is needed. Next, understand why we doubt and how to remove doubts from the mind by analysis. The class then explored the concept of Agasha and its relationship to Satchidananda. Swamiji explained that Agasha is a manifestation of Maya and it has two qualities, space giving and sound producing, and emphasized the importance of understanding the distinction between Akasha and Satchidananda and how this understanding can lead to a deeper experience of reality. Shloka 74 says that by applying all these, one understands Agasha is space, Sat is Atma, and the distinction between them. This Vyat is the first manifestation of Maya. Existence is ever unmanifested. This is Vedantic meditation. This is Vedantic meditation. This is the difference between yogic meditation and Vedantic meditation. You get into that level and experience it. This is called appearance manifestation. Without existence, space is no more. The Brahman itself now is Sat Vastu and can be said as pure existence. When we experience this, by distinguishing these two, we can understand that the property of space giving is called Agasha. In the case of Brahman, you will get complete satisfaction then and there. Only what is connected to the self gives this effect immediately. From every object, if you get that existence, the nature of Brahman, then you can enjoy every moment. Then you know that this is me. Shloka 75 says, the man with this insight thinks that this Agasha has no existence, is illusory, a manifestation of Maya. My existence, Satchidananda, is extending its existence to Agasha. If I am separated from that, then Agasha has no existence. This is how we express our existence and support and understand Agasha as Sat. This is what we call as Ajnanam. You are unaware that you have given existence to others. Agasha always shines as itself. If Agasha is separated from Sat, it has no existence. In Sushupti, that Satchidananda separated from Agasha is still experienced as existence. You can apply this logic with Vayu and all other objects around you. The existence is you because you are Brahman. This is a new idea at this metaphysical level. You have to contemplate on that because in reality, you are first and the objects are secondary. Shloka 76 states that Vasana means continuous impression, practice, and making an impression of this idea, this philosophy. You develop the Vasana of this distinction of object and subject. Ultimately, you will experience that I have no death because I cannot die. If death is there, that existence, that easiness of death is also given by me. Death is a concept. If a person who is dying, that is separating the physical body from the Sukshma Shariram, then he should be there. The ignorant unnecessarily carry objects with them and suffer. Shloka 77 connects these varied arguments that are used for space and applies those arguments with the Vayu. Swamiji pointed out that Vedantins are the most compassionate people because they see Brahman everywhere. From Shloka 78, the sequence of the appearance of the illusion of Vayu and Brahman as Sat Vastu is discussed. Maya is localized in Brahman. It means Maya is the Shakti of Brahman. One aspect of Brahman is Maya. So, Ega Deshastha Maya. Another aspect of Maya is space. One aspect of space is Vayu, and so on. Brahman as an existence is equal to Maya. From the aspect of existence, Brahman is equal with everything. Apparent manifestation is Maya. The non-manifestation is existence. This is how we establish this theory of oneness. The importance of going beyond intellectual understanding and logical analysis and experiencing the truth directly is emphasized. Swamiji concluded saying with this. Now let us listen to Pujya Swamiji. Hari Om Swamiji.
Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavat Padam Shankaram Loka Shankaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutra Bhashya Krito Vande Bhagavando Punah Punah Ishvaro Gururatmedi Murti Bheda Vibhagine Vyomavad Vyapta Dehaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha Shri Dakshinamurtaye Namaha Namaste Shankarananda Gurupadambujanmane Savilasa Mahamoha Grahagraseika Karmane Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om. One of the important discussion we are having now, the second chapter of Pancadashi is very useful in the practical level of Vedanta. As we know, the five elements and the products of five elements are in our experience. So we always struggle to understand that how these five elements are Brahman itself. So how to analyze it, discriminate it. So once we have the thorough understanding of the nature of Brahman as Satchidananda, then we are able to understand the objects outside as Sat, the foundation, the basics of that, or the objects what we see, how they are manifested into different forms. So this is the basic idea conveyed here. So now actually the whole subject, all chapter is too technical. We have to catch hold of the fundamental theory of Vedanta and connect with others. So our Acharya says, if you have the experience of Satchidananda, you can't forget it. You can't leave it. The objects we see outside, we can turn into the form of, or that reality as Satchidananda. So this is actually a technique. Why I am saying it? Because we have to make a thought process on this. The actual experience may be something different. Nevertheless, we have to understand, we have to make this thought process that what we are experiencing is with Brahman. What we are experiencing is with Satchidananda. So, this is the idea here. So, we have one aspect as Satchidananda, the first point. The second aspect as Maya with the three gunas. And the third aspect is 5 elements. And the fourth one can be the manifestation and the productions of 5 elements. The subsequent production of 5 elements. So this is what we see, we experience. Now, Acharya started this chapter with describing Satchidananda. We have discussed Sat, because Sat is obviously experienced in 5 elements and all other products. So therefore we discussed Sat. Then we discussed Maya, the second part of that. And then later Akasha, space. So he described space as Avakasha. It means which gives space. Space giving is called Akasha, space. And then resonance of sound, or the production of sound. So sound is produced from Akasha. So this is how we described Akasha. Then he said, apart from existence, Sat, Akasha is nothing. It means it is non-existence. The sound production and space giving is a special character attributed to Akasha, or in other words we can say it's a manifestation, or the special manifestation, the first manifestation of Maya. So the character of Akasha, its own character is space giving and sound producing, and all those the space and the definition of all those are there. But the point here is, when we remove the existence as Sat, if we are able to understand this, that Sat is giving the existence, extending the existence to Akasha. So this is how we made a formula for analyzing 5 elements. You see, this is so important, because as I said, I used to say this all Vedanta is not just a concept. It's not just you believe in something, some philosophy, some system. Vedanta is not just a theory that you study and memorize and preach. No, it's not like that. Vedanta is a theory of experience. It is an experiential knowledge. So first they convey some theory, establish some theory, and then with that they continue to produce it into experience. So to make it an experience, you need some logic, because basically mind has to understand. The make mind understanding, we have to bring some thorough, some right logics. So therefore this formula is made. So as you know, when some formula is made, some techniques are used, it will be complicated in that sense. If something is very direct and giving you, there is no discussion on that. It's very simple. Now you use sugar. Now you use sugar, you enjoy it. But if somebody asks how this sugar is made, what are the ingredients of sugar? So then you have to take all the process and the formula of that and everything. So then the sugar becomes so complicated to understand. No, now you see, oh, this sugar is how can I understand it? Why you make this sugar so complicated? So if you don't want to understand, just enjoy it. That's fine. That's fine. There is no other thing applied there. You just bring it and enjoy it. But if you want to understand the reality of anything which is manifested in this world, you need some techniques, some formulas. If you go to biology, if you go to chemistry, you go to mathematics, you go to physics, you go to medicine, you go to any subject, it's very complicated. Now that's the point here. Now you please, you don't think that this Vedanta is so complicated. It is trying or is making all formulas to just to make the theory established to convince us that this is correct. No, this is not the point. The point is, when you think about any object, if you want to understand the reality, the formation of that object, you have to go behind it, behind how it's work, how it's produced, and the cause of that, and all those so on. So this is what we were doing, and now we continued with Vayu. The same theory applied on Vayu. Now 80, sloka number 81, the same thing. If you extend sad existence to any object, the object exists. And if you remove that sad of Brahman from any object, that object is no more as existence as real. So when the existence is removed, obviously the object become non-existence. The non-existence, what we call it as the power of God, and it's become Maya. We call it Maya Shakti. And whatever we see there is name, and form some qualities, attributed qualities. So that those qualities too are existing because of existence of Brahman, existence of the reality. So we can use the word Brahman or Sat, or we can just say the real existence, the reality as existence. So the reality also existence, and Brahman is also existence. The both are the same. So there is no difference. Yeah. So that is the we see sloka number 81. Sado anuvritti sarvatra vyomno nedi pureritam vyomanuvritti radhuna katham navyahatam vachaha. You will be hearing some sound of bhajans. Okay, because I am in an ashram, so they are having some evening bhajans. So that is why you will listen to some bhajan in background. Okay.
Swamiji, the slokas 79 and 80 were not explained, I think.
Excuse me?
Slokas 79 and 80. We took up to 78 last time.
No, we have completed sloka 80, no?
No.
Yeah, I think we have completed sloka 80.
Sorry.
Yeah. So Sado, now one objection. Now you see the listener who says previously, earlier you said that the Sat is everywhere, all pervading. Sat is all pervasive, but the Akasha is not all pervasive. So then how can you say here that Vyoma, Akasha is there in Vayu, there in air? Because the immediate cause of air, Vayu, is Akasha. So Akasha, Vayu. Now, the cause will be there with the product that we know. The product cannot avoid cause, because the product, the effect is not different from cause. So then there is a confusion. Sat is also all pervading. Now this Akasha, the space, is also all pervading. As we know in science also, they say space is everywhere, all pervading. Okay. So now how it's right? Because how you can say it seems to be contradictory. No. We have discussed this in shloka number 67. The same objection, this objection is raised from that shloka. Sado anuvrittihi sarvatra vyomno nedi pureritam. It says, earlier you said Sado anuvrittihi sarvatra. So the existence, the pure existence as Atma, the Brahma, is there everywhere. But Vyomno Nayati, but the space is not all pervading. That is what you said. Now here, Vyoma Anuvritti Adhuna, now what you say? is an objection. So now what do you say? You say Vyoma Anuvrittihi. So space ensues air and other objects, air, fire, water, and earth. So now space is also all pervading and Sat is also all pervading. So Katham na Vyahatam Vachaha. Now how is it not contradictory? Because it is contradicting that you said only Sat is all pervading there in sloka number 67. And here you are saying this space is also all pervading. So now Sat is also all pervading and space is also all pervading. This is contradictory to the statement already made. So how it is not contradictory? We want to know that. What is your intention? So this is the objection. Sado anuvrittihi sarvatra vyomno nedi pureritam. Vyomanuvritti radhuna katham na vyahatam vachaha. Because our author Vidyaranya Mahaswami wants to clarify how Sad is all pervading. Sad ensues all the manifestation, and how Akasha, the space, is connected to other objects produced from space. Now here you can see our Vedantic theory of manifestation, evolution, and the scientific theory of evolution. Now in scientific theory in physics, they say space is everywhere. All the objects are formed in space. So they start from space. Now we go beyond space and say there is a Sat, existence, pure existence. Existence is manifested, or existence is called space. It's a different different name of existence, because you say space exists. So space exists. So this sentence shows before space, before the existence of space, there was no space. So now, like you say, the child is born. So the sentence means there is a implied point. Point is that before there was no child. So before there was no child, now the child is born, in particular in these days and this time. So there you apply time and space and everything. So this cannot be proved by physics or physical theories. It can be only proved, only no, can be experienced if you experience your own existence, pure existence as Brahman. So this is the difference we can see here. The objection is from that point. So therefore it is interesting that from where space starts, after space, of course, the air and fire and water and the manifestation of all these elements are there in space. So the objection, and we see the answer. Chidranuvrittir netiti purvoktiradhuna tuyam shabdanuvrittirevokta vajaso vyahadikutaha. Now Vidyaranya Mahaswami says this question, this is your confusion. You are confused with the existence and thus existence of space. Now you see, I use two words. The existence as pure existence and the existence of space. So he says, what I said there in slogan number 67 is, the space as space with its characters is not all pervading. If you separate, you minus the existence from space, and then if you take only existence, existence is all pervading intent. It's always all pervading. So that the all pervasiveness of existence is intact and it cannot be changed. It's there. So you minus that, then what remains? The extension of space, that is space giving and sound production. Space giving means emptiness. Okay, this is what is different from the existence. It is attribution, it's a special character, special nature of space. We can say Vishesha, speciality. So this speciality is connected here. That is the difference. So what is that speciality? Shabdanuvritti. So space has sound production. So this sound production, nature of space, character of space is ensured throughout air, fire, water and Prithvi. So now you see, sound production is a special character, a special quality of space, or we can say its own character, which is the manifestation of Maya. Now you see, the Maya is also a character here. There is a space, there is a point that Maya also exists here. Now this space giving of character of space, emptiness of space, or sound production of space is the manifestation of Maya as Avyakta. You see how clear it is. There is no confusion. So this character of sound producing will continue to air also, because air also will also produce sound. Fire is also producing sound, water is producing sound, and earth is producing sound, and we are all producing sound. We are the manifestation of these five elements. We are producing sound. I am also producing sound now. So this sound production is ensued. Now you see, we don't say this sound production is coming from Brahman. Right? This we don't say. What we say, this sound production as its own character is coming from Maya. It's not from Brahman, because Brahman cannot produce sound. Brahman is soundless. So soundless cannot produce sound. And now how Maya is producing sound? Because Maya has Sattva, Rajas, Tamas, three gunas. Out of three gunas, Maya can produce innumerable manifestations. Aghatita Ghatana Patiyasi Maya. Unimaginable productions Maya can produce. And in different combination, different manifestation, different combination, Maya produces different effects. So this Sattva, Rajas, Tama is connected to space. The space has a special quality as a sound production, space giving, or whatever we say. So this character, this special character, is not the production of, not the manifestation of Brahman, because existence as it is unmanifested. This point you have to remember. Existence as it is always unmanifested. It has no manifestation at all. Then what happens? Then how the manifestation comes? In fact, when we talk about manifestation, we talk about the manifestations of Maya. So therefore we bring the Shakti, God's own Shakti, as Maya. So this production is Maya. Now, when Pralaya comes, dissolution comes, what happens? Existence will remain as existence, but the sound productions and other characters of the manifested subsequent manifestations disappears. Right? So this is the evolution and dissolution. So the evolution and dissolution happens in Maya or in Prakriti, what we call it as Prakriti or Maya, whatever, because this has the character of manifestation. So this is how we applied. So he says here, Vajaso Vyahadik Kutaha. So what, where is the contradiction? There is no contradiction. See, if you confuse existence with space, existence with Akasha, then there is contradiction. So we separated this. Therefore, we need Maya in that aspect to establish this, to explain this. We need a character like Maya because Maya can do all this. So, Chidranvrittir neti purvokti. He said we intended to say that the space giving and other thing is not all pervading. The other character of space is not all pervading. Adhuna tu yam. Now what we say is Shabdanuvrittireva Ukta. So what is all pervading in what is there in space, that special character of space is Shabdanuvritti. Shabdanuvritti means sound production. So Shabdanuvritti, the sound producing character, the special character manifestation ensues, goes to air, continue to fire, again continue to water, again continue to manifestation as Prithvi. As it grows, as it gets grows forms, the sound become clearer and clearer. So that is what is happening. Now the sound in air is not very clear. It is less clear. Now it goes to fire, it's little more clear. And water, again it is clear. So when it comes to earth and earthly product, the sound become more clear. So this is the manifestation. When we say manifestation, the word itself says it always goes to one point to another point, one character into another character, and from the less production, less effect into more effect. So this is how the manifestation goes. Like when we say manifestation, the curd is a manifestation of milk. So the milk is another object, another character. When we say manifestation, it takes another form. Again, it takes another form. This is how the manifestation goes. So it may be sometimes it like from gross form to grosser form, and sometimes to subtle form to subtler form. That is according to the objects it's derives, it changes. Okay, so Shabdanuvrittireva Ukta. So here we have two different different attribution of space, different aspect of space. One is space giving, another is sound producing. So we separated it, and then now the Chidranuvrittir Naiti Purvoktihi Adhunadu Yam. So this space giving and the sound producing part is different, and space giving part is different. So sound producing part is here. Now you can say this is taken away by another elements. So this is what we said. So in this context, this discussion of this space. So space is not all pervading, but space is there in all other elements with some of its qualities like sound producing characters. So this is what it's again an objection on this. Nanu sadvastu parthakya dasatvam chettada katham avyaktamaya vaishamyat amaya mayatapino. Again, the objection is more deeper. Now the observer, now this he is asking, what you said there is, if you separate existence from space or air, the space and air is non-existence. It means it is no more. So sadvastu parthakya. Parthakya means being different or from existence. So when space, akasha, is made different from existence, then akasha is no more. That is what you said, correct? Then we apply that theory here. So space is no more space if the existence is removed. So to understand this, you can take any object and from that you remove the existence. Like I say, book exists. So if I remove the existence of book, so book is no more. Book is absent. Yes. So this is what you said. So then you said, then the statement was the same shloka there, 67, 68. If existence of Brahman is removed, the rest of the part is Maya. Therefore, Maya, it means Maya's production. That is Nama and Rupa. Manifested and unmanifested. Maya has two forms, manifested form and unmanifested form. But both these characters have the same thing as names and forms or some actions, some kriyas. Okay, so this is what we call it. But even from those three, if you remove existence, There is no name without existence. There is no form without existence. There is no action, no manifestation, no vibration without existence. Right? Now, that is the thing. Then he says, Tada katham avyakta maya vaishamyat amayata apino. So the same thing you apply with the maya also. Avyakta maya vaishamya. Vaishamya means difference. To unmanifested, unmanifested. So avyakta maya vaishamya, you separate this object as whatever we call it, space or anything. So you separate that names and forms or all these. Avyakta maya, unmanifested maya. To separate that from maya, then what comes out? Amayata. Amayata means maya, if we call it maya as unreal, then if something is separated from unreal maya, what will come out? What is the opposite of unreal? Is real. It become real. So he says, you are only talking about existence and removing the existence, separating the existence from objects. Why you are not talking about maya and separating the maya? So then what would happen? If you separate from maya, the maya is maya and this manifestation is unreal. If you separate from maya, it means that object become real. Like the existence of Brahman, if the existence is separated, then the object become non-existence. This is the I'm playing with the words that you see, but you have to understand the idea there. So we are using this word, real and unreal, existence and non-existence. So one existing object like space or air or water or anything. So you remove the existence from that as Brahman is removed. Sad vastu parthakyat. You separated. Intellectually, you thought about it and you logically you separated. Okay. So then the object become non-existence. That is what you said in sloka number 67, and now also you say that in 82. Okay. You say that if the existence is separated from space, space is no more. Similarly, we say you separate the object from maya. So maya is unreal, so it become real, which is separated become real. Like the existence separated become non-existence, and unreal is separated become real. You see how he applied intellect here. No? Logic. It's a perfect logic, perfect formula. Now it should be answered. Because you have to say why you are not separating the object from maya. Avyakta maya vaishamya. Why vaishamya? Why there is difference? Because the maya, you said maya is unmanifested. Avyakta. Okay. So maya as Prakriti is avyakta. That is the cause, the primary cause of all the objects. Therefore, it is unmanifested. It must be unmanifested. Because only from unmanifested form of cause, a manifestation and effect can happen. Like the clay is unmanifested. It means it is not characterized. It is not shaped. So the from unshaped clay, we make a pot which is shaped. Correct? So this is how it happens. So from unmanifested the manifestation comes. From unnamed, the name comes out. Similarly, where there is no action, we make some action there. I was sitting and I stand up and then I walk. So when I was sitting, I was not standing. When I was sitting, I was not walking. So now, if you say the walking is a manifestation, it's an action, then my sitting is inaction. Correct? I think we got the point. We have to get into this. So why he says these are different? Because avyakta maya is unmanifested, and now the space, air, and whatever we are talking is a manifestation. Okay, then we have to separate it. How? Because manifestation is different from unmanifestation, and unmanifestation is different from manifestation. Normally, we have to accept it. So he is using this formula, this technique, this logic to prove that if you separate an object from unmanifested Maya, which is unreal, you call it unreal, then the manifested object become real. That is our experience. That is, we all experience, all science says that, physics says that, all the Shastra says that. We have no problem to accept that these manifested objects are real. Why you are trying to make it unreal? So the person who is objecting it is making an argument. Because your argument is wrong, he says to the Siddhantin. So he says your argument is wrong because you take unmanifested into manifest and manifested into unmanifest. So let the unmanifest be unreal. We don't mind because we don't need unmanifest. Whatever is unmanifest, why we need it? We need manifestation. So the manifestation is real because manifestation is different from unmanifested. You don't say that unmanifestation is real. You say unmanifestation is unreal. So the unreal unmanifestation is separated. If you separate that, remove that, then what remains? Real will remain. Because in your theory, there is no absence of Sat. There is no absence of existence. So that is how the all manifestation become real. This is how it is happening. That is his objection. So he's asking avyakta vaishamyad amaya mayatapi no. Amaya mayatapi no. You say how this is not real when it is separated from unreal Maya. So here one main point is Maya is unmanifested and unreal, and the production, the effects of Maya is manifested unreal. So this is the thing. So unmanifestation oppose manifestation. Similarly, vice versa, manifestation oppose unmanifestation. So the unmanifestation is unreal. Then when it is when we take its opposition, we get reality. So the unreality become real and unmanifestation become manifest. This is how the question. You see how he's applying his intellect to analyze it by logic. And I think normally we never think about something like this. So there is no chance in our life to think about this. Actually, we are also experiencing in day-to-day life manifested and unmanifested. No, we know we have two forms. But there we don't have any special understanding, because we don't need any special understanding in that case. So every day we have so many unmanifested experience and manifested experience. But the theory says unmanifested, if unmanifested is unreal, then manifested also unreal. So he says, now you are removing existence from space and other thing. You are applying this. Then similarly, you can apply this also. So let it be real. There is no problem. That is what the idea. Now you see how he is going to answer here, because this question is very tricky, is very difficult to answer, because the logic and the theory is very applying, very appealing theory. So therefore it cannot be answered easily, but we will see how he is going to answer. Nistatvarupa devatra maya tvasya prayojika sa shakti karyayostulya vyakta vyaktatva bhedino. So the reply is, now how you define Maya. Now you have to remember the definition of Maya. In this chapter, we have learned the definition of Maya. You see, manifestation and unmanifestation is not the definition of Maya. Unmanifestation is not the definition of Maya. It's not the character of Maya. If unmanifestation is the real character of Maya, then what you said can happen. We could imagine like that. But in our theory, unmanifestation means avyakta. Unmanifested state of cause is not Maya. Then what is Maya? The unmanifested cause of state is cause only. The cause as it is. Because clay is unmanifested from the viewpoint of pot and other objects. But we don't say clay is unreal. There is no need to say that. Though Maya is unmanifested, it is a state of Maya. It is a state of Maya. It is not Maya. Now, when we say the state and the object, now we are in different states, different. In our life, we crossed many states of life. We were in childhood. No, we were in in our youth, and now you are changing. So similarly to the old age. So these are many states, like status, experience, waking states, and dream state, and other states. So this is a state of Maya, which we called as unmanifested. Right? We don't say that is Maya. This is a state of Maya. So therefore, unmanifestation is not the essential feature of Maya. So it says, Prayojika is not, that is Prayojika. Prayojika means essential feature or character of Maya. Unmanifestation is not essential, not the real character of Maya. Right? Then what is the real character of Maya? That is nistatva rupada eva atra mayatvasya prayojika. This is already said there. Nistatva rupada. So what is nistatva? Nistatva means unreality. Unreality is the unreality is the essential character of Maya. Now you see, you have to separate the state of Maya and the character of Maya. Now sometimes this two looks the same. We call it like that, but it's not right. So unmanifestation of manifested objects is not the character of Maya, but one state of Maya. And the character of Maya is unreality. Unreality is the character of Maya. And then it has immediate effects and subsequent effects. So some immediate effects like space, air and all those are seen as Maya's manifestations. And subsequent effects from Panchabhutas, 5 elements, they have their own productions. They are manifested. So the manifestation and unmanifestation is nothing to do with Maya, because those are two different states of Maya. That's all. So you become sometime you become a sometime you produce some characters, some of your qualities. So when you are in home, you are cooking food, so you become a good cook in your home. You go to office, you do work there efficiently, you do work there, so you are a good worker there. So now the person is the same, but we can't say the person who is cooking well is not is his character. It's not his character, it's a state. It's a special quality. So in that form, in that manifestation, Maya becomes space. Maya becomes air with some qualities. But space and air are only manifestation of Maya. You can say we separate as immediate effect, means direct manifestation, and subsequent manifestation, or subsequent effects. Okay, this is how we separate all the objects what we see. Compared to Maya, we make it immediate effects and subsequent effects. That is a different thing. Now the point here is, he asked the question with the manifestation and unmanifestation. He said unmanifestation, if Maya is unmanifested, avyakta, then if you remove Maya, then it becomes manifested. So because when manifestation happens, there is no unmanifestation, right? That's the point there. Then what we can say, there is no Maya, so the unreality become real. That is what he asked. Now we say no, manifestation is not Maya, manifestation is a state of Maya. Sa shakti karyayos tulya. Then the next says this nistatva rupada. The unreality of Maya is common to Maya as Maya and the effects of Maya. The unmanifestation is not common. You see, unmanifestation is not common with Maya and effects. But unreality is common with Maya and effect. Right? Now you see, when we say something is a cause, so the cause has, we have to see the special character of that cause, which ensues into effects, manifest into effect. So the cause and effect, when we see, we don't see the special character of cause and special character of effect, but we see the common character of cause and common character of effect. Right? The same object, same material can be reproduced in different form. Like sweetness of sugar. The sugar has sweet taste. The sweetness of sugar can be reproduced in different sweets we make with ingredients with other ingredients. But the common character of sweetness doesn't change. Though taste changes, because the sweetness in laddu and sweetness in other objects, other sweets, each sweet is different. But we can't say that sweetness changed. It seemingly changed, but the sweetness of the sugar, the same sugar we used for many sweets, making many sweets. So this is how it is. Therefore, the sweetness is common in all the sweets. The manifestation and unmanifestation. So this can be connected to Brahman, but here we are not taking up to Brahman, but only with the Maya. Therefore, we have to see some common characters, common thing in all the effects, then decide what is the cause. Now, when we see all the effect, manifested effects, we see Nama, Rupa, and Kriya. And this Nama, Rupa, and Kriya, three forms are always changing, and these three forms are unreal. They are not real. Nobody says it is real. So therefore, the common thing in this Maya and its manifestation is unreality. So therefore, it comes like this. Therefore, it is Maya. So that is what we defined there. So, Sa Shakti Karyayoho Tulya. Vyaktavyaktatva Bhedinoho. Let it be manifested or let it be unmanifested. That is why it says. Nevertheless, this unreality is there. So, Vyakta Avyaktatva Bhedina. So, manifestation and unmanifestation has the same character. What is that? The same character. The common character is unmanifestation. Sorry, unreality. Right? So therefore, you can't ask this question with manifestation and unmanifestation. So manifestation and unmanifestation is just two states of Maya. That's all. So there is no characterizing Maya with manifestation or unmanifestation. We are not characterizing Maya with that. Right? So therefore, all kinds of manifestations are carrying this. This is not only in the case of elemental manifestation, but non-elemental and other manifestation also is like that. So wherever you see any manifestation, you will see a common character of that manifestation and its cause. So the cause and effect, common character similarity is there. So this is what the answer is. Okay. So nistatva rupa devatra mayatasva prayojika. This word prayojika we have to understand, because most of the translation they missed this word prayojika. Prayojika means which makes something. The reason by which something is characterized or identified. That is called prayojika. So the reason, the hetu or the karanam, the cause by which something is characterized as its name and form. Now, when we say human being, so the human beings has some special qualities which are not there in other living animals. So that special quality are the prayojika of human beings. Those quality makes human beings. So this is a word, like it's a technical word. Actually, it cannot be translated into English in a single word, because I have not found any word directly into this, but we can understand by this. So the essential character, the special feature of that object, which makes that object as that object. So this is how we can say this. Okay. So we stop here with this sloka. If anybody wants to ask a question, you can ask. Okay, so you contemplate on these points. So we will discuss in this session. Okay. So thank you. Hari Om. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudashyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Shri Guru Pyo Namaha. Hare Om.